Colorado Springs, you said?
Yes.
Have you all lived there for a long time?
I'm sorry, what'd you
Have
say?
you all lived there for a long time?
Yeah, so we've been here about 30 years.
Wow.
So a long time, longer than you've been alive, right? Or pretty close.
Pretty close. I'll be 30 this year. So
There you go.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I want to be 30 again. Can I be 30?
Yeah.
Holy
I just
cow.
want a 30-year-old back again. That would be just awesome.
Exactly.
I know.
You think something hurts? Just wait. Just wait.
There's a comedian who was talking about that. He said, "Why is it we have so many specialists? We have a specialist for everything." And then he made a joke and he goes, "But a veterinarian, they just fix it all. So how come they don't have like a throat doctor for a giraffe or something?" And it was funny, but it was. He goes, "Okay, doc. So this one spot, like 3 inches above my knee and about the size of a softball." He's like, "That's the only spot on my body that doesn't hurt. Can you make the rest of it feel that way?"
Exactly.
That feels so.
That's funny.
Oh,
It's like when you go to the doctor and you tell them, "My arm hurts when I do this," and they say, "Well, don't do that."
Yeah.
and you can pay on the way out.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That'll be $75 off this
Yeah.
one.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions before we get started? I know this is like short and sweet. You probably haven't had time to even listen to an episode to realize.
Not yet. Yeah.
No.
I mean, I like your tagline, sip, savor, and succeed. Ours is sip, savor, and abide.
Aha. That's even better.
So we have a total link there.
That's fantastic.
Abide, like
And
abide.
this is our fun bottle. You didn't get to see that. I don't know. I did the filter and then of course it's not going to pick up the bottle. There you go.
There it is. Lebowski.
Lebowski's Kool-Luah coffee liqueur.
Best tasting coffee liqueur on the planet. Oh, see, you should be drinking a White Russian. Come on.
No, it was so last minute. It would have been perfect.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers. Yeah, cheers, guys.
I don't know what I'm drinking today. Some drink. Cheers to you guys. You're more than welcome. I know you're probably getting ready for work soon.
Oh, we've been worked for hours.
Yeah.
Life. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I'll put that one over there as a reserve. This is just kind of how the conversation will go. It doesn't get any. I mean, if it gets serious, it gets serious. But we just talk to you guys, and we try to keep it within an hour. Do you have a hard stop, like in 1 hour from now, or do we need to?
No, but I would should we let the staff? You probably should let.
Okay.
Drea
Yeah, I'll
know.
let them know that we'll be back because I think
Yeah.
Jen's going to be here. So
They'll be waiting for you.
Yeah.
We got a shipment of lettuce coming in the back.
Hey,
If you need
Oh my
it-
gosh, that's exactly what's happening. Exactly. Not quite lettuce, but it's bags of garbanzo beans or whatever it is, that kind of thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know. Back in the day. So any questions like do you want?
I didn't get any briefing at all. So you just kind of is it just really you want to talk about the coffee liqueur and where we're located and how it came about and all the things? Or are you thinking more so,
Maybe.
I don't know. I make on the menu, I have 9 White Russians. We can talk about that. I have 50 different recipes that I can do, including one with limoncello. So I got all the things.
That sounds good.
We naturally let it go where it goes. So
Okay.
we'll start. Very first thing, we'll sign a quick little banter between Tommy and I, and then I'm gonna go, okay, and now let's hear from our sponsors. Boom, we stop for a second. I'll be right back. And then what we'll do is into it and kind of talk to you guys, and we let it. We don't try to force it in any direction. I mean, if you feel comfortable and you want to spend the hour pontificating about EBITDA and such, we can. I don't know why anybody would want to talk about basic accounting principles and formulas like that, but I mean, hell, if that's what you want to talk about. But we'll take it wherever it goes naturally, and it will end naturally.
Okay.
You'll kind of know because it'll be like, all right, guys, any last things? And now tell us, people are in Colorado Springs. How do they get a hold of you and get a hold of some good gummies and such? And
That's down the street, hon.
yeah, go there first and then come to your place and order off the menu, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just take it from there. And
Perfect.
if there's something that we say by accident, like if it's a topic, you're like, mm-mm, I don't want to talk about that. And I don't rarely have I ever had that happen.
Yeah. Today might be the first time.
Today might be, I
Okay.
hope it's not. I hope it's not. But it's, we keep it simple like that. You don't have to censor yourself. If four-letter words naturally fly out of your mouth, as they do mine from time to time, it goes with the flow.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. So you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Is that rabbit? No, that's not rabbit that you're wearing. I'm looking over at Megan in the corner. No. It looks like
It does look like rabbit.
it looks like a bathroom rug that was turned into a jacket.
Does not look like a bathroom
I'm
rug.
sorry. Maybe not your bathroom rug. But anyway, all right. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right.
It should be higher.
Folks, welcome back to Toasting the Business. We're not going to talk about bathroom rugs.
I wouldn't say so. Yeah.
Not today. Unless that's where the conversation takes it. How you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You think last week at this time? No.
I know. It's crazy for Georgia. Like that's unheard of.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
This week it's 65 and just beautiful. It's the weirdest
I know.
thing in the world.
People do not know how to drive in the snow here.
No, thank you. That's why I stayed in. Because I go,
Snow-
it's not
snow in
me.
Georgia is
It's
Oh,
them.
probably a rare thing.
Yeah.
It is rare. It is rare.
Very
They have
rare.
more snow down in Florida. But anyway, we've got a great guest on. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this whole story and how it happened so quickly. But why don't we take a moment and hear a word from our sponsors? And we're back.
We're back.
We've got great sponsors too. And Megan, thank you for this amazing cocktail today. What is it?
Rabbit and bathroom rug.
It's rabbit and bathroom rug. Who knew that this was the drink we were drinking? What's it called for real?
I forget.
I don't know.
Some sort of strawberry.
Strawberry martini.
Yeah.
That works. That works. Well, it's delicious. Yes.
Yes.
Rabbit and bathroom rug. I want one of those again. Megan, one time though, you remember you both came over for a little dinner thing, and she made this red, white, and blue layered.
Oh yeah, that was you made that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was crazy.
She yelled at me because I didn't do it right. I couldn't layer the colors correctly. She's like, "Move, get out of the way. I'll show you how to do it right." And I'm like, "Well, I asked you in the first place." But that's not what we're here to talk about. We were supposed to have one guest on the show today. And I was like, let me send them a reminder. It's that time. Can't wait to talk to you later today. And had an email come through, and their PR person, guessing your PR person, said, "Here's Monica and David, and this is their business, and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Great. Love to have them on the show. Here's the link to schedule, be on the podcast." And a little while later, I checked, and it was like, hope you don't mind that it's too soon. We saw you had an opening for today, so they're going to be on. And I'm like, that's great. But I thought I had somebody else and realized that the other person had rescheduled for down the road. So we're doing this on the fly. I don't have their special product. We don't have it yet.
I was gonna say, yeah, they have some very interesting things that would go well.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But when we get a bottle of this, we're definitely going to drink it on the show and talk about it for you guys. So we got David and Monica Wolowski.
Kowalski.
Kowalski.
Yep.
Oh, I should know that, man. And we're here to talk about sausage and pierogies and vodka.
Not quite.
That's not what we're going to talk about.
It's like, let me on.
No, we're going to talk about, you guys tell us I got the email. Tell everyone what this product is that I'm.
Let's start.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our Monica and I opened Lebowski's Taproom in Colorado Springs, Colorado in August of 2023. 2 months after we opened the tap room, our surprise business came into play. Monica found her dad's old recipe for coffee liqueur in a box of old cards and letters. So since we owned a Lebowski themed restaurant, we had to give a coffee liqueur a try for our White Russians and our espresso martinis. And so we made a batch of it and turned out to be the best tasting coffee liqueur in the world. So now we're working with a local distiller here in Colorado Springs, Black Hat Distillery, to make the product for us. It's a vodka-based coffee liqueur, and we use a Colombian coffee, so you get a nice, rich coffee flavor from it.
Awesome.
Wow.
And it's called, it's spelled KOOL hyphen
Luah. Kool-Luah.
Kool-Luah.
Nice.
And the bottle is just, it's got a pop. It reminds me of like pop
Yes.
art. It's so zingy and wingy there. I don't know another way to.
Yeah, the branding's beautiful. Yeah, it looks.
It's
Absolutely.
really that mid-century modern kind of look, a little bit. You're not like, oh, this is familiar. It's got like the nice little shoulder pads that I say, it's just a fun bottle,
That's
and it's
awesome.
delicious.
I bet it is. And I want to try it so bad.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to come back to the studio for this.
I think I need to watch you take your first taste when you actually do get the bottle.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that is one of, when I go to Vegas and I'm out there at the tables, that's one of the drinks is, coffee with a coffee liqueur. I won't say the other brands. But that instead of, because I can sip on it and I get a little bit,
Right.
Keeps me a little loose, but did you
Yeah,
same thing?
absolutely. Yeah, I'm not going to say the brand either. I got to be really careful.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Those other brands wish they tasted good, so I thought they were cool.
That good. Well, I remember back in college, I tried to make Kool-Luah. And it was take instant coffee, vodka, sugar, and a vanilla bean, and stick it in a jar and shove it in the back of your closet for like 8 weeks and forget about it. And it was the nastiest crap I ever did in the world when it was done. Oh, it was bad. So I hope your recipe, it's got to be a lot better than that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's been really kind of nostalgic for me because it was something that I used to do with my dad, and I haven't had my dad since I was 18, and I'm not 18 anymore. I'm 54. So there's a big age there, and I forgot all about it. Honestly, I forgot that we used to do that. But when I made it here and I could get that smell and all the flavors melding together, and I opened, put it into a bottle, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this. I remember us giving this as gifts, as to the neighbors and family, and lots of fun stories. Now that my older family that's still around have come around and tasted it, they're like, oh my gosh, let me tell you about Donnie and what he did with this, and let me tell you about all the fun we had drinking this. And like you said, with your coffee, it's just like coffee, a little cream, and some coffee liqueur in there, and it's delicious.
You put on your bathrobe and go to the bowling alley.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Why not? Like a friend. So the tap room came first,
Yes.
and then this beverage, the liqueur came after. Okay. What were y'all doing before you decided to open the tap room?
Nothing like what we're doing now.
Yeah. So I had 14 years of financial industry, and then I was in the healthcare industry for 16 years.
Mhm.
Did everything from clearinghouse operations through to global operations for a Fortune 5 company for those 16 years. And then my position was eliminated, and you got the nice little here's your severance package, and I took that and decided to open a tap room and employ 23 people from the state of Colorado. And then this was, like I said, the bonus business that emerged from that. So that's what I did. And then it grew very quickly, and I needed Dave. And so now Dave left the financial industry and came over to being an entrepreneur too.
Yeah, I was in the mortgage industry for 25 years, both on the production side and the risk management sides of the business. And so worked for a national company as well as a local company recently. But yeah, as the tap room continued to grow and we started to get to the point where we knew that we were going to eventually be launching our coffee liqueur product, this is our full-time job, both of us now. The restaurant here in Colorado Springs is more of a pub style restaurant. We try to feature great burgers, great wings, great comfort room, kind of a gastropub, elevated pub style food. We won awards for our chicken wings. We won 2 first place awards at the Best of the West Wing Fest back in September. And we've been on many different top 5, top 10 burgers in the city. We were actually named to a national travel magazine is naming one of our burgers the best burger in Colorado. So
Yeah.
in addition to the coffee liqueur, we've garnered some awards for the Taproom. The coffee liqueur itself, we launched out in June of last year. We've entered in a few competitions. We took home 2 silver medals, one at the San Diego Spirits Festival and one at the Las Vegas Global Spirits Awards. And we just found out yesterday that we got a gold medal at the San Diego International Wine and Spirit Challenge. So we're
Congrats.
super excited
Yeah.
to get the
So now
product.
you really want to taste it even more, right?
Even more, but I need some burger and wings to come in the box with it. So you do have to speed that up.
Those won't taste quite as good when I chip them. This will stay that way.
You guys, you're a couple, I'm assuming,
Yes.
and you've been together for how many years?
32 years.
32
Well, we've been
years.
together 33 years, married 31.
Oh, really?
Okay.
No. Yeah, yeah.
So what
A
happened?
long time. A long
A
time.
long time. These are the days of our lives, like the sands through the hourglass.
Oh my gosh.
So you come home and you're like, I got laid off today, or I got my job got eliminated, Dave, and but I'm going to open up a tap room. Did you have this idea in the back of your mind?
Yeah.
You
So
did.
we used to joke about it like all the time with our friends. Like when we retire, and I had my retirement age, it was 59 and a half. I wasn't going to work a day past 59 and a half. I knew exactly what I was going to do.
You know, running a restaurant's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, now I do.
Well,
I
that's
know.
not going to work. You're going to work
crazy part of
twice
it
as hard.
Is I never bartended. I was never a server. I was never prep or line cook. I never worked at a restaurant. That was not anything that I did. And so now I can do all the things, including the dish. You know, I know how to work every aspect of it in there now. But yes, I'm actually very thankful that I was laid off at a younger age than 59 and a half, because I don't know if I could have got up off the floor. Because, you know, I was like the other day we had a little explosion and with the kegs, and I had to wiggle the keg out to clean behind it, you know, because everybody was in service, busy. And we run really lean just because we run very lean. And so, you know, we wear a lot of the other hats that have to happen in here. So yeah, I'm thankful that it is, I was a little younger than 59 and a half to do that.
We and like Monica said, we had kind of always joked about doing a gastropub style, more I want to say more like a 50 style diner. It was our original idea concept. It was a trip to Iceland in 2019 that actually inspired the Lebowski theme
From the
Lebowski bar.
Have you been there?
No, but I've heard of it, Ricky.
Yeah, and then to come find out when we go, all right, we're going to do this homage, right, to a 20-year-old movie. 30-year-old movie, not 20, whatever. But being able to kind of give that homage there, they're all over the place. There's one in Robbins, Iowa. There's one in, there's a grill in Austin. There's one in
Seattle area.
Thailand, Scotland, you know, Iceland, Belize. They're all over the place. Everybody has this little slice of, so we're connected in a different way, and it's been fun with that.
Are there any licensing issues
No.
with that, or copyrights, or?
No, Lebowski's is the last name.
Yeah.
Then anything, you know, that you have is, I mean, like we're good on all that. Yeah. The only thing is we do have a trademark, registered trademark on our logo and branding.
Sure.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Now, you got some
We're not the big Lebowski.
all the Lebowskis around the world.
Yeah.
Tell them you want to sing and perform.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Come up with a whole new playlist.
It's pretty smart. Yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
So you had this idea on the shelf for years. Did you actually like pull it out from time to time and say, oh, I had this thought and I'm going to change it and move? So it was a growing, not just.
It was growing. And then our friends that probably at nauseum had to listen to that whole, and one of these days when we do this, we're going to have this, you know, and, you know, it was probably haphazard and kind of not really very disconnected, not like, oh, this is what we're going to have as an appetizer, or this is what we're going to have as things like that. Because like I told you, I didn't work at a restaurant. So when we opened, I didn't do I opened in 45 days because I was laid off. I was like, I got a timeline, and I'm very aggressive in timelines. So I got it open from flipped, done everything through liquor licensing, all of that done in 45 days. And I
Wow.
opened the door and people
just
came
started
in.
showing up.
And of course, it was my friends who came in who were like my first patrons, right? Thank God, because I didn't have a menu. They're like, oh, so what's on the menu? I didn't think about that. I'll be right back. I come back into the closet here, type up a menu on Word. And now we have a website, and, we have everything kind of flushed out from that, but it's still always a work in progress.
So
But-
nobody ever told you that like 60% of restaurants and bars fail within the first year, and 90%, I think it's 90% fail within the first 2 years. You just didn't know that fact.
No, I knew that.
But you knew it wasn't going to happen to you.
Right.
But we believed in our travels around the United States, around the world, we would kind of keep mental tabs of different food items, different recipes, different things that we liked. We're very, very driven, and we wanted to bring to Colorado Springs the kind of pub style environment that we enjoyed, because it's really, really sorely missing.
And then it's difficult to find like vendors and distributors that bring the different alcohols. And then that's kind of where we're like, oh well. And then I found my dad's recipe, started making it, and then you can do it house made here. You can I can infuse anything. If I want to infuse a vodka with a Jolly Rancher, it's fine. It's for house. But then I had our regulars that were like, can I buy this? Can I buy your coffee liqueur? Can I buy the Kool-Luah? And I'm like, nope, can't do it. That's I don't have that kind of license. And then we were we actually started talking with a distiller and just kind of getting the feeling out there, like how many would we have to sell? That's like a commitment, right?
Right.
Because they're not going to just make 10 bottles for the 10 people that come in. And it was like, all right, this is what your first pallet was, what,
3,500 bottles in our first order. So right off the bat, we obviously, the restaurant acted as the testing ground. We were going through 1 to 2 cases of the product every week in our White Russians and espresso martinis.
We sell a lot of White Russians and
so
espresso martinis.
The proof was in the pudding, so to speak. We're using that. So we felt fairly confident that we could sell through that. If it took us 2 years to get through 3,500 bottles, that would be fantastic. It took us less than 6 months to sell through that 3,500.
How long is the shelf life if you just have?
So there's no artificial flavors or preservatives. The vodka in the product acts as the natural preservative. It's shelf stable for probably 2 years by itself. There's nothing in it that's going to go bad. Once it's opened, obviously we recommend that you drink it within probably 30 to 60 days, which shouldn't be a problem.
Or the same day. It happens.
Same
60 minutes.
It shouldn't take that long. Come on.
No. We had a couple from our neighborhood that drove over to an older couple, and they came back the next day because they're like, yeah, we drank half that bottle last night. And I was like, oh, there's alcohol in there. Like, slow your roll. That's like a lot.
Are you only selling in the restaurant, or do you sell online too, or where can we get it?
So currently we have it in 30 different liquor stores around Colorado.
Yeah.
30. Wow.
Yeah, 30, and then we're in multiple restaurants too, and
wow.
So we have it in 17 other restaurants,
and we haven't even been doing this for a year.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Do
you work directly with the liquor stores? Is there a distributor in the middle, or how does that work?
He is the distributor.
Yes, I'm the salesman. I come in and do events here at Lebowski's. We manage it together.
So when we say we work all the time, it's about we work all the time.
So self-distributed currently, but we are looking for both a regional as well as a national distribution company as we get ready to launch the product nationwide. We just ordered 25,000 bottles of the product, so we are definitely gearing up for nationwide distribution.
Is your plan to go full guns with the liquor as primary, or you want to franchise the restaurant, or what's the game plan? Or how
I think it's probably just right now a 50-50. I wouldn't franchise the restaurant yet. It's not ready for that. And maybe part of that is my brain is a Fortune 5 company, right? So I've watched, we've I was in mergers and acquisitions. I mean, like, I know what you kind of need to do. We're not there yet from a franchise perspective. Maybe in a year, maybe in a year and a half, we might revisit that. But right now, I would say no to that. I'd have to be convinced, but there's always that. But yeah, focusing on getting that the coffee liqueur out. We've partnered with other local businesses. So we have the Dude ice cream that's alcoholic ice cream, right? That's made with the Lebowski's Kool-Luah. And that's with one of our local creameries that does it here. And then we also sell that, and it's in one of our desserts here,
That's
with Guinness brownies and all the yumminess with that.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds
I wasn't being
fantastic.
rude.
I'm getting you hungry, huh?
I was on my phone trying to go to your site because I wanted to know what the 9 different White Russians were that you make. But as I was doing it, I'm like, oh wait, they have recipes. They have all the stuff to make with this liqueur. So I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole. But I mean, what a White Russian is: coffee, cream, and a coffee liqueur. How do you come up with?
So traditionally, like 1/3.
No, that's not a White Russian.
OG White Russian would be 1/3 vodka, 1/3 coffee liqueur, 1/3 half and half or heavy cream, depending upon how creamy you like that. That's kind of the classic recipe.
Mhm.
And what's amazing about our coffee liqueur is we can substitute pretty much any alcohol
For that
in the
vodka.
world for that vodka. We have bourbon White Russians, we have tequila, we do an absinthe-based White Russian.
Stop right there. So yeah, the tequila, which is the El Dude, right?
Oh, dude.
The El Dude, and so you put in reposado in there. Now you don't have to put the creamer in there. So when you were saying you like to sip on there, you can do this like a tequila old fashioned. So you're doing equal part, like 1.5 to 1 of the coffee liqueur, and then just over a craft ice, and you can just sip that. If you want to, spritz it with a little bit of orange, add a cinnamon. You're donezo right there. You got it, right?
Our coffee liqueur makes everything taste great.
Yeah.
Everything. Well, I like it. I do like it on vanilla ice cream.
Yes.
Drizzle it on top of vanilla ice cream or brownie with. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
It
Yep.
10x the flavor of everything.
Sounds incredible.
So good.
I mean, I'm really just curious. I know that I don't want to focus too much on it, but I'm very interested in the business aspect of what you guys do. And I'm just wondering, what are the biggest challenges that you guys have right now or that you see in the future happening?
Two separate. So we have two basically very sister companies, right? The Venn diagram, they curve really, really over each other, right? Because we use the product, we buy the product from ourselves. So we're not only the lumberyard, but we're the cabinet maker in that kind of analogy there. So I think from the biggest challenge is that it to scale, right? Because right now it's us, and getting staff to be able to be hyper independent in this realm, in a restaurant pub type environment. That's one of the biggest challenges, and it's just really scalability. It's like, if you walk in and you give it to someone and I'm like, here, try this, they're like, oh my gosh, I'll take this, here's a sample. Okay, I'll take this bottle. Yeah. And here in Colorado, you can buy 2 bottles and take home with you from here. So we have that type of licensing in the state. So we're pretty easygoing state. So we, if you want to take a couple bottles, it's no big deal. So lots of selling happens even just here at the Taproom, but just getting it in front of people. That's the biggest challenge I think that we have from the coffee perspective. And then from the sister company being the Taproom, Lebowski's there, I would say it's staffing, it's independent staffing. And it's because we're new. We're still in the toddler phase. I'm not like thinking that it's a bad thing. I think it's just that's kind of how business grows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you launched this in 45 days.
Yeah.
Right.
That's amazing.
So for a restaurant and that's a big deal. Did you Was the building existing? Was it out of business?
Yeah,
restaurant? And
it
so all
was.
equipment and everything was included? Are you
It was a
leasing?
prior,
or
prior
did you-
concept, and we were really fortunate to find a location that had a functional kitchen ready to go. We really didn't have to do a ton to the kitchen right away. Obviously, we revamped, remodeled the front of the house to be our theme, and concept. And this was a unique location here in Colorado Springs. This is the location where it's been probably 15 different restaurants concepts in the past 20 years. And we've been here 18 months now, and so far, knock on wood, we continue to do great. Business keeps growing month after month. January, February in Colorado are obviously slower times, but we're really excited as we get into the warmer weather, into March and April, to see what exactly we can do. We exceeded our sales goals by at least 20% in our first year in business.
I'm a little peeved right now. I really am at myself, because I was just out in Colorado in October. And I was in Colorado Springs because we were down at Garden of the Gods.
Oh, you were
No,
like,
you were right.
you were like a minute
Stone
from
throw.
us.
Son of a bitch. No, really? Because we came out of Garden of Gods and we actually stopped at, like, come down the road, hung a right, getting back toward the highway, and pulled into a brewery on the left, a franchise brewery. And it was good, and just hung out there for a little bit. We may have even driven in and out. No, because I would have recognized the name. I would have been like, we're going there. I was
gonna say
right
probably-
there.
You were
Right
you were one street over, and I
Yeah.
know exactly where you were.
Yep.
Fudge. Son of a snap biscuit. Okay. I'm sorry. Next time I'm in
Next time.
Colorado,
Next time.
I'll come and I might.
Well,
not
we're gonna
even
get
eat.
you some here so you can sip, savor, and abide there.
And abide. So
Yes.
do you do any brewing yourself for beers?
No.
Or do you take
No, and in the tap room we feature mainly Colorado spirits. So that's kind of the. I'm sorry, what?
I said, why not?
You know, I mean,
Spirits out there.
we have some really unique distilleries that have great stories. Everything from some distilleries that have that distill their products through marble, and it's the same marble on the Lincoln Memorial. So we have that connection, and this is kind of history that, and I think that's what makes our business unique, is that you don't leave your little borough, your bubble, that everybody got it so used to, and they can try something that's maybe from the other side of the state. And Colorado's a big state. You can drive 8 hours and still be in Colorado. And we bring Colorado wines in that have won against Napa Valley wines, and all of our craft beers. We have really, really unique craft beers that happen here just in Colorado Springs or in the state. So we bring those in here and do tastings and just feature those, so that way not only our patrons but our community can kind of try that out and not have to make that commitment to go, oh, I'm going to drive all the way down to Durango to try this. Well, no, I'll just go over to Lebowski's. If I don't like it, it's okay. I don't hurt my feelings because there's somebody that does, right?
Exactly. And it just kind of changes perceptions. Somebody will come in and ask for a national brand in a drink, and it's like, well, we don't carry that. You'll never find a bottle of that product here in our store. But here's a local Colorado-based alternative, and they try it, and they're like, wow, this is even better than the national brand. And so the partnerships that we've built with breweries and distilleries here in Colorado has been one of the most amazing things. I mean, our coffee liqueur product wouldn't exist if we wouldn't have taken that approach. Black Hat Distillery, we use all of their spirits as our well line of products. So that was the relationship that started that led to the conversations about our own coffee liqueur.
I don't mean to steer back to this, but it just popped into my head as you guys were talking. But I heard risk management. I heard mergers and acquisitions. I come from a financial services family too.
Yep.
I'm really curious if you have the same mentality or approach that you did working and doing that work as you do running your own business.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You absolutely, and I think that's foundational. Is that you have to have a mentor, right? Somebody who's successful and knows what they're doing. You need to be able to ask somebody some questions. And I have a couple amazing people that have been in the restaurant business that are willing to share, and a lot of others that have been in the restaurant business will ask me questions, and I'm like, hey, this is how I would approach it. It's like a big giant project plan, right? So you have a financial mind, you know that, you like, what do you want to hit, and how are you going to back into that, right? So that's kind of how everything is approached. And you have to look at everything from how much a napkin costs, like per napkin, per to-go box. Not only your labor costs, because we have, we always have labor costs there, and the lights, and what is your, like, what do you need to make to keep the lights on? And then what do you need to make to be even? And then what do you need to make to turn a profit? Because not all of those are going to hit every single day.
Mhm.
And they're going to, fluctuate. And that was a challenge or a change for us, because I worked somewhere where, I could tell that, it was flu season, because we get more claims in a clearinghouse, right? So you knew that people were sick because claims went up, right? Okay, here comes the flu season. Here comes here comes vacation when we leave grandma at the ER. And so we can go on vacation. So it's the summertime. So the more ER visits for, older people and things like that. So that happens. So you have to kind of look at it the same way. It's just, there's more people go out to eat on this days. These are days that people want to be engaged. And then we found too, this was like crazy, but people want to be entertained.
Yeah. That was kind of one of the surprise things that we never planned.
Nope.
So we have the restaurant, we have the coffee liqueur, and we're basically an entertainment company. I mean, we found out very quickly that post-COVID, people want something to do. So of course we tried to tailor that to some of our slower days of the week. So every Monday we do trivia. We do a different rotating trivia theme. We get this past Monday we did the office theme trivia. We had 55 people in here playing trivia at packed house to
awesome.
That. Every Thursday night we do bingo. We try to line up a different distillery, different brewery every week, do samplings, tastings of their products, and we can actually give away bottles or 6 or 12 packs of product as the grand prizes for the night. So it acts as kind of a mini business showcase as well as a fun
event. And then it's
to
constantly, and that's a key. And I think that's where we've kind of established and established ourselves right back in the community, is that respect, is that I can feed 55 people. Right, at a time. That's it. I'm not competing with every restaurant in Colorado Springs. I'm not competing with, I would love to see all of them full. We have a huge population here. Not everybody wants to cook every night. So, being able to share that and share the ideas, like, here, do these things. I teach a tamale class. So you asked about, you were joking about pierogies and sausages. I'm Mexican, so I make tamales. That's what I do.
Make those too all day long. Just feed me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna feed you. So we do a tamale class, and I am sold out every class that I don't even take money up front. I mean, I'm like, this is the day, here's the sign up, and once there's enough people signed up, it's closed, because I know everybody's going to show up and at least bring 2 people.
2 weeks ago, it was -10 and we had gotten 4 inches of snow, and we had 22 people in here on a Saturday morning making tamales.
Well, it's nice and warm and toasty in there. And,
and then they have dinner.
Why would I not?
Yeah, so that's all the fun
serve me
stuff.
Kool-Luah. I brought my own Kool-Luah.
Yes, and then they all get a drink. It's all fun.
It's well, you learn a lot. I mean, you learn that FIFO is a thing. It's a big word in the restaurant business. First in, first out. You probably had a huge learning curve when it came to waste.
Yes.
Food. And when you say you run lean, it's like, it's better to have an item go 86 on you.
Yes.
Than it is to have it sitting in the walk-in and rotting, and you got to throw it out. It's like, I'm sorry, you just didn't have enough. But next week, if you come back, we'll make sure we've got it for you, because we ran out of that one product. liquor on the other side is the same thing. Do your bartenders free pour, or do you run it through a measuring system?
They measure. No,
Everything in our restaurant is an exact recipe.
Mhm.
Something we learned from the corporate world and some of the large nationwide restaurant chains. I want the White Russian or any of our other cocktails to taste exactly the same if they get it on a Monday from one bartender or a Saturday from another bartender. Same with our food in the back of the house. Every single thing is a recipe.
Yep.
Let me rephrase that. Do you use a shot glass or a jigger, or do you
Jigger.
have it where it's, because there is the system where it's an electronic device
Yeah.
that you put on each bottle when you pour, so it measures
those.
the exact amount.
Oh,
And it keeps track of those shots, because it's like, well, if you have 750 milliliter bottle of liquor, you should be able to get 40
I've seen those,
shots out of that bottle. And when you come up short, you're like, wait, we made this many drinks. Where was the waste? Where are we losing money? And that's a hard thing, especially even when you're using a shot glass or a jigger to control, because it's like you got a bartender that goes, well, it's one for you, one for me. This person's a good tipper. I'm going to throw in an extra half shot, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a lot of
yeah,
stuff in your staff.
that's one where we run more lean on the back end, where there's a lot more, could be a lot more potential throwaway waste
Mhm.
in there. But from the front of the house, we do measure from the recipe perspective, but we don't have the electronic measuring on there.
That's right.
Nah.
When you find out from one of your bartenders is overpoured and somebody's like, yeah, let's see, he only has half a pinky. He was over pouring too much. We didn't fire him. We just
took a toe.
Yeah.
just a toast and nobody gets to see it. Yeah, I know.
You mentioned having 23 or 28
23.
employees. What is your approach to managing people, and what advice would you give to somebody managing a team? Is it different from managing your teams at your financial services companies, or what's the difference there? What's your approach to culture, I suppose?
So, and I would say probably even if I had someone that had reported to me years ago or now, I'm a very collaborative leader. And I like to give staff, enough. I'm not a micromanager, so I want them to have the freedom of being creative, because I think if you're creative and you contribute, you feel more value in your work. And I know, we have a scratch kitchen, so everything for, like our blue cheese is made from scratch to, I am so
Damn.
to like
good.
our
Linda, yes, we are going. I know my girlfriend's going to listen to this, and yes, Linda, next time we're out there, we are going. We are going.
It makes a difference, and being able to create like different specials. We have and I let my team create those, as well as our bartenders too. They're everybody contributes, like, oh, hey, we're coming out with the spring menu, who's got some ideas, and they all have great ideas, right? Sometimes execution doesn't come out. We'll try something and we're like, ooh, I don't think anybody's going to buy Vic's Formula 44D on the rocks,
Yeah.
but it was it was a good try. It was a good try. But we try to do that from a server perspective and get them to collaborate and form that team. And we have a pretty good tight knit little team. We have fluctuation. It's just kind of the nature of the business, like, and nobody wants to work more than about 25 hours. That's kind of max on anybody's plate from the front of a house perspective. But now we know that, so we've adjusted and we have shifts to where that accommodates to what they're doing, and that they still get their goals in there. But we treat our team very much like we did with the Fortune 5, where you have one-on-ones. You talk through, what do you want to see? What are you challenged with? What do you see us? You have some more experience than we do. What do you have? And being able to collaborate with them has been positive on our perspective.
Absolutely. And just one last thing to add to that is they're here to help us make money. So obviously we want to support them and help them make money as well. So, I mean, I bust tables, I do dishes, talk to the customers. I will run food. I mean, we're here to help them be successful because they're helping to make us successful.
So, Monica, you brought Dave on when you realized.
Yes.
I do. I
So I am the boss. Yes, I am the
I have
ultimate
a
boss.
couple questions. One, has he ever been employee of the month?
No, he doesn't
Oh,
get.
I've been salesperson of the
He's
month.
been salesperson. We have a we have a
But
big
not
button.
employee of the month.
We have a big button
Sorry,
that
Dave.
has a baby being baptized in chili, and it's
Yeah.
we call it the chili baby. So he has not been able to wear the chili baby yet.
I've not worn the chili baby.
And I'm more serious. I'm sorry, Dave. You gotta bring up your game a little, okay? I could see the annual employee review between Monica and Dave. So let's talk about your performance system this year. And it's not just at work. We're
You know-
going for it's for home too. If you think you want a raise, here's what you're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
But why did you? I mean, you went into this. You still had a job,
Yep.
and I'm sure it was like you need to stay in your full-time job to make sure this thing is going to get off the ground and get going. I
Yes.
don't know, but at what point were you like, screw that, quit your job, I need you here? Or
It was a
are you-
combination
or was it-
of both. I mean, I was putting in 40 plus hours at the financial company I was working for.
And then 40
then,
here.
Then another 40. I was coming in 5 to 6 days a week here, and working. I think the kind of the tipping point for me is as we grew and became more successful, it was the conversation of, okay, we're going to have to hire a second front of the house manager to take
Yeah.
over the responsibilities. So instead of investing a lot of our profits into another person to help us run and manage it, it made more sense for me to jump in and take on that mantle and be able to work cooperatively day in, day out. And it's been very, very, we try to not be here at the same time. And we try to, but we also try to take days off together so that we can have,
Yeah, we have
the
one
opportunity to
one
live
day off that we're definitely off together. But it's funny as we drive separately. We obviously live in the same house, right? So we drive separately because I'm usually here earlier because I get the kitchen staff going and everything for the kind of kick that off to the day, and then he usually stays in later in the evenings. But sometimes when we're both here till 11 o'clock at night, then we call in on our way home and we debrief of what just happened from a sales, who did what right, who do we need to talk to, and we debrief on our phone call on the way home. I go like, we're bizarre. I mean, like, I guess I'm lucky that I did marry somebody that I like and that that he's my friend and now my coworker, all of those things.
Do you leave it? Do you do that? Because do you try to leave it at the door when you walk into the door of your house
Yeah.
and not talk about it? And maybe that's why if you can have that debrief on the way home, it's like, okay, we're home now. Now it's us. It's our time. It's
Yeah, I
personal.
think that's probably
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a great way to kind of wrap that up. Yeah.
And sometimes it's because I just want to go to sleep immediately the second I get home, and I don't want to stay up and talk about it.
Keeping awake as we're driving down the freeway, right?
What is the worst thing that you tried on the menu or a drink? And I mean, besides, okay, we already said the NyQuil something or other.
Yeah.
But like a food item, and you guys were so just jazzed, like, man, I can't wait. This is going on there. It went on the menu, and like it was just crickets. Nobody bought it, or you had one a month, and it kept getting sent back to the kitchen. Like,
We've actually been fairly lucky. I mean, I don't know that we've had
Yeah, I would say on a drink perspective, we've had some drinks that were duds. They were just not good. And I mean,
we did have a bartender that we took their suggestion and we tried to do a cold toddy. So basically a cold version of a hot toddy.
it smelled good.
It tasted like cough medicine. It was like, no.
that's
We
what a
sold
Long Island iced tea
two
is
of them.
for. Cold toddy. Oh God.
Cold toddy. I
Yeah,
was like, I'm
yeah.
trying to think on the menu from a
food perspective, it's been a
yeah, because we even did like crazy stuff. Like
constant
again,
success.
the team that I have, and it's all guys right now that I have working for me in the back of the house. It wasn't always like that. It just kind of my head chef moved away. She moved to Chicago, but we did Cincinnati chili, with the spaghetti, with the chili and all the
People
different
loved it.
things. People loved it. We did it for a special. We've done gumbo. Oh wait, we tried to make beignets. That was a dud.
Yeah.
That was a dud because we're at an elevation
where
that doesn't work
They
at
don't.
all.
Well, they're flat.
Yeah, so that would be our dud.
and then
Really
we
did.
ordered beignets from one of our distributors,
Vendors.
and they sent us jelly filled donuts. It was like, this is not a beignet. What?
This is a jelly donut.
No. Yes.
Yeah, so that would probably be if going in retrospect, that's crazy. Yeah.
All right. It's good that you're
So then,
experimenting.
yeah, and then
Oh, yeah.
experimenting from the coffee liqueur. So I was like, there is no way you can mix Lebowski's Kool-Luah with limoncello, right? Limoncello is a very strong flavor profile, pledge-like even. It's very strong, right? So we mixed that and the coffee liqueur and half, and you get a German chocolate cake.
Oh, I've got to tell Mike.
Oh yeah.
So, I have a friend in Mike Ossadorf. You weren't here for this episode. Trust me, you would have a lot of fun. Lynn and I both had to. Well, her husband picked her up and took her home that night. So we have a friend who actually, and he's been on the podcast. He makes limoncello, and he makes hands down the best limoncello I've ever had in my life. He makes a basil limoncello, regular limoncello, like orange flavor. Oh, I got to get you some. So when you're saying that, when I get that bottle from you guys,
Yes.
I'm going to be like, Mike, it's time for me to reorder. Let's go, buddy.
Yes,
So,
and you need to mix it, and it tastes, I don't know why, it tastes like a German chocolate cake.
Oh, that's incredible.
The lemon and the coffee
Schwarzwald torta. Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm sorry. In German, that's what they call it. The Schwarzwald torta. So, I got to have that. Got to have that.
That sounds amazing.
Talking about that, how did you, okay, so you brew this stuff, you're making it in the basement of your house or wherever. And people think,
And the
No,
kitchen
we're
at the restaurant,
making
legit.
it-
clean
we're
environment.
making coffee liqueur. We're not cooking meth here, folks, okay? Seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
It's science.
It is science. And so you're serving it in the restaurant first.
Yes.
And then you're like, okay, people want, it's good. It's a great way. It's a test market, which is awesome because a lot of folks don't have that volume of people to put it in front of like you did.
Right.
So you got to test it and there's demand for it. And you're like, all right, let's go for it. 3,500 bottles, right? On the
Yep.
first run that's sold in 6 months.
Less than 6.
Less.
At what point during that process you're like, okay, we got to get this out in the market. We need a distributor. I mean, you could probably walk it down the street to the other local restaurants and be like,
Which we do.
and they could buy 2 bottles at a time and take them back themselves. And that's great that everybody else uses it. How did the distribution work? What is that like? Are you only in Colorado or are you in other states now for distribution?
Well, we're just in Colorado currently. We're still self-distributed. We are looking at, we're working with Black Hat Distillery. We're getting ready to ramp up online sales of the product. So hopefully by the end of February, early March, we'll be able to sell and ship across the United States from an online sales perspective. We still are shopping for a regional or nationwide distribution company for boots on the ground in states to get it. Our goal by the end of 2025 is to have it everywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
Can I be a rep for you guys? I want to go like to restaurants and bars and everything.
You haven't tried it
Absolutely.
yet. Wait till you try
Wait
it.
till-
Then
I
I
know,
want- then we would have a one-on-one.
Really, I have confidence. You guys have a lot of confidence in your product, and I have a feeling that I'm not going to be disappointed at all. Because I want to wear the bowling shirt, and I want to go out and just rep this product.
Well, and it's a simple sell. It's like, here, taste this. Buy it or don't.
That's it.
Exactly.
I mean,
Well,
like,
I
yeah.
need Uber. I'll need a permanent Uber driver to get me from location
Yes.
to location. One sample for you, Tommy. One sample for me. One sample for you, Megan. One sample for me.
Darren, just think, and you were less than a mile away from the best tasting coffee liqueur.
in the world.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the kicking.
I had to turn that knife.
on that one. But how has distribution been going for you? Are you finding, I mean, is it like a pebble in the pond and it's just kind of naturally expanding on its own and more people are, the word's getting out and they're like, you need to go buy this. You
Yes.
need this in home. Is
Combination of the two people that have come into the restaurant, tried the product. It's amazing how many other restaurant owners have been into our restaurant and tried it, and that's how the conversation starts. I have them try it, taste it, and the majority of the restaurants that we're in currently, that's how the conversation started.
Yeah.
We either met them here at our restaurant or at different tasting events around Colorado Springs. They happen to taste our product. Same with liquor stores. About half of the liquor stores were people that tried it at a tasting event or at our restaurant, and they're like, "Oh man, I have to carry this."
And we've done a lot of like community events. So we did. They do a whole fundraiser for our zoo. We have an amazing zoo here. It's up on our mountain on Cheyenne Mountain, and so we did a tasting there where it's, you know, everybody has to be 21 up. Actually, we've done 2 tastings there.
Yeah.
And the first one, we had the longest line because we were kind of like nestled all by ourselves. And they were like, and I'm like, wait a minute, you were just here. Wait, you know, and they were like, oh, you have the best. And all I was doing was shaking it, but hearing that shake, because I don't layer I just think that a White Russian should be
Shake
you
it.
have a shake.
Shake it, not stir.
Shake, yeah, not stirred. It needs to be just because you get all of that flavor profile all at once. It's not like, oh, I just got to drink a vodka, or oh, I just got to drink a cream. It's a perfect blend. And there were quite a few that had never had a White Russian, and that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, what do you mean? They're like, I've never had this before. This is the best. Well, yes, it is. And
We're bringing it back.
This came out a long time ago.
When people think of White Russians, we want them to think of Lebowski's.
There we go.
Yeah, it's like a rye and Coke kind of thing. When you're way back when people are like, what's a rye and Coke? It's like, you gotta have it. But I mean, I get it with a White Russian. You can just tweak it ever so slightly and change it completely. It's like you're talking about that, and you make it, and you put a pinch of cinnamon in, and it just enhances it. If you take a mint leaf and chop it up and throw it in that and mix it, it enhances a different. I mean, it's a really versatile cocktail, Megan. A White Russian is a really versatile cocktail.
I bet you Megan likes an espresso martini.
She might like an espresso martini, but she took her headphones off right now, so she stopped listening. So that's why we're talking to her this way right now.
Oh no!
Get her attention.
I didn't say.
Tommy's on the swatting side. He's within reach. But distribution's moving along. As we start winding down, we have some time here. If you had a choice right now, and somebody came to you and said, "I'm sorry, guys, you can choose one or the other. You can have the coffee liqueur business, or you can have the restaurant. Which one are you going to take? Which one are you going to run with?"
There's 2 of us, so Dave would take one, and I would take the other one. There you go.
You're in the same house, and you're married.
Done.
Son of a bitch, she is crafty,
That was
isn't she?
an amazing media trained answer. That was spectacular.
You can have different answers, but which one?
Well, you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, I mean that the Venn diagram is so overlapping that they're sister companies. They're 2 separate corporate entities,
You're
but
avoiding answering the question.
they're so. I mean, personally, I'll answer the question
other.
directly. I mean, I would take the coffee liqueur. I mean, it's a tribute to Monica's dad, Donnie. It's his recipe. He passed away in the late 80s, and we found this by complete accident. I have so much fun. My favorite part of my job every day is I try to sample it to every single person that comes in the door, and my staff is like, I mean, I'll sell 10 to 12 bottles of product a day just because I got it in front of them. They tasted it. I personally, if it was a choice of one or the other, if we could guarantee that I could have it in every state tomorrow, I would take the coffee liqueur.
Monica?
I still would say you take one, I take the other.
You go with the restaurant, huh?
I go with the restaurant. I mean, like,
Why?
but I'd be using the product. So there we go. It's a happy, put your hands together.
Okay. Okay.
Fair enough.
Is that acceptable for you?
Fair
Tom?
enough. Absolutely.
You don't want to push them on that anymore.
Well, I'm going to take the liqueur business too. If nobody's just out there, I'm just going to take it myself. That
Okay.
works for me.
The liqueur. Well, I mean, the liqueur business, a lot less, I guess inputs because it's manufactured. It's, the labeled, like those kind of things. That's all like one streamlined process. So you don't have the so many different, I'm sick, I got a headache, I got a hangnail, I don't want to work with Sally, I don't want to work with Susie, that kind of thing. You don't have that people aspect, but then there's that flip side is that you don't have that people aspect. I like that part. I like that community portion that is there, and being able to mentor and kind of work with other people. I would miss that, I think.
Although on the coffee liqueur is the sexier product. We're eventually going to have a celebrity endorser. So whether that's Jeff Bridges or Matthew McConaughey or somebody is going to pick up on this, and then we're gonna launch.
Actually,
no.
The best thing, either Dave has trained himself so well or Monica has trained him, because for those who aren't going to go, if you want to watch it on YouTube, you can, because we actually have video. But if you're just listening, every time Dave talks about the liqueur, he picks up the bottle and puts it in the screen. He is so great on product placement through this entire episode.
Very true.
Well, it's fun. You say that, but our little logos that we wear with our bowling shirts and everything like that, and all of our staff wears them and stuff.
Yeah.
But when you see the logo, our granddaughter, who is 2, recognizes the logo already. So it's like, I want to be like one of those brands where somebody, not necessarily my granddaughter, but anybody who sees it goes, oh,
Instantly.
is that Lebowski's Taproom, or is that the coffee liqueur, or what did you get with from Lebowski's? I want them to recognize that, because it's a fun, and that is very, very near and dear to my heart, because our niece created the logo as a joke. She got some kind of, crafty thing, and early on decided to she said, sorry, is it Lebowski's? Is that what you guys are going to open up someday? And this is like 2019, 2018. And I was like, yeah, that's it. We're going to call it Lebowski's. And she's like, so what do you want your logo to look like? And I said, I want it to look familiar. I want it to be a little bit like a mid-century modern, but I want you to think you've seen it before. That was the direction I gave her, as vague as it sounds. And she came up with our logo, and it looks like Hanna-Barbera cartoons, Sunday morning cartoons. It looks like something you've seen before, right?
Yep. That's awesome that you have that. I mean, it does. I like the style on it, and it's so cool. I want to ask you this last question, unless Tommy has one more. We were talking to somebody a few weeks ago, and I think you were helping me on this episode. And there's in business, people have and food is a classic case of it. For those of us, you bring out a plate or you cook for somebody, and you get to see the immediate satisfaction on their face. Mm-hmm. And even like your coffee liqueur, you hand that to someone and they taste it and they go, oh my gosh, this is so good. And just like the restaurant side and everything else, you put a great burger in front of them. There's that instant gratification, and it, feeds your soul, feeds your spirit, yourself, and you get that. Back when you were in the corporate world working for Fortune 5 companies,
yeah,
I'm assuming it was different. You didn't get instant gratification like that, did you?
No.
Did you realize that was something like when you started this business or these 2 businesses, and you're like, wait a second, my spirit's getting fed a whole, my soul is being fed a whole different way. What is this energy that's hitting me?
Right.
Did you think it was something that you were missing, or did you get self-satisfaction or satisfaction back in the corporate world a different way?
It was different. So it was more, there was recognition. I'm very competitive. I mean, you can kind of tell a little bit there. Obviously it's like, oh, here, let's enter that contest. Okay, we can do that. So I think there was that, perspective. I had amazing teams. I mean, I had a huge team at one point. I had about 175 direct and indirect reports, and they ranged anywhere from a physician to a call center employee. So it was a huge gamut there of what, but I think them being heard, being part of a team and getting that connection, because we had to do it like we are right now with a Zoom call or we had Teams meetings and things like that. So we would do different fun team buildings over the phone. So I think that's how, but it was more forced. I was more, check the box. Yes, we have to play Monica's game because she's the boss, or we have to do this because this, and then being here, interacting constantly with people, like making those connections. Like I know, my regulars, I know when their birthdays are now, and it's only been 2 years, right? I mean, not even 2 years yet,
18 months.
18 months. And, we recognizing them and just, seeing them enjoy something that we created is a whole different, it's a whole different thing. Yeah. I mean, I made great money at the company that I worked at. I mean, way more than I'm making now, way more.
Someday we'll make great money.
Someday, but that's not necessarily all of it. And the energy that you get is different, because I mean, I'm here about 65 to 70 hours. And then when I'm not here I wake up at 3:00 in the morning because my brain's going, I make a reel. So that way, when somebody goes on their social media and the first thing in the morning, they're seeing Lebowski burgers flip through their social media, or they're seeing a White Russian or things like that. So my brain's never completely off in that realm. But it's okay, because I'm constantly getting that energy from who I'm serving.
Yeah.
And then being able to give back a little bit different too, because we sponsor like a Special Olympics team, and that is my heart and soul. And he worked for me. One of my dear friends worked for me when I worked at the Fortune 5 company in the mailroom, and then we became friends, and being able to sponsor his team, and then help his mom and everything as things have changed throughout the year. That's been great.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
Like that. Dave, are you in the same boat? Because I mean, back in the mortgage business and stuff, was it a different way that you were fed and energized as it is compared to now? And
I mean, it's definitely, I mean, like you said, that instant gratification and the dopamine you get from like that instant. They love the burger, they love the chicken wings, they are buying a bottle of coffee liqueur from me right in the instant. I mean, that is just so gratifying. I mean, there wasn't as many of those things in the corporate world, but and it's just a little bit different. I mean, we've been lucky enough in the 18 months that I mean, the rewards and awards and recognition that we've received. Monica's modest; she hasn't said anything, but she was actually just named a Colorado Springs Woman of Influence for 2025 by the Colorado Springs Business Journal. So the awards that are there still, even though we own our own little tiny mom and pop small business. What we've been able to accomplish and the recognition that we've received in 18 months has been as equal to or far exceeding the recognition and the awards we received when we worked in our corporate careers for somebody else.
You got anything, Tom?
Well, I want to go to Colorado Springs right now.
Dude. I know we can get a direct flight pretty much. Or we're right in Denver, and then we got 45 minutes and we're there.
You come in 2 weeks, and then you can take tamales home.
Exactly.
Oh, that would be so good. So good. I have to tell you guys, this has been awesome. I mean, I'm glad it's just the way it worked out, how one person fell off the calendar and you guys came on board.
It was meant to be.
So when.
But I'm going to go back to, when you say the instant gratification and stuff, you have to drink your first drink with me. So that way, when you get it, you can, even if it's just a selfie, you can text me your selfie, taking a drink and going, yes, it's good.
No, I'll video it. I'm going to do it on the podcast. So you'll know, and maybe we may even have to do it one-off. I'll be like, I got the bottle. I need 5 minutes of your time. We're going to do a little minuet or whatever. What do you call it?
Baby Guinness.
Little mini short.
Yeah.
We'll connect and boom, and we'll be on and done and do it that way.
Absolutely.
But I'll have to, if I try to do it myself without these guys, they're going to be pissed. So we need everybody here for that.
You got to share. You got to share.
Just have them bring some, it's Megan, right?
Yep.
Have Megan bring a little pint of vanilla ice cream.
There we go.
There we go.
What's that? Pint of
Then you
vanilla,
can cheers.
drizzle it over the top. Well, I'm glad. So if anybody's in Colorado Springs and they want to come to your fabulous place, they're going to go to where?
3240 Centennial Boulevard. We're off of Fillmore and I-25 here in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and we're usually here, so you'll get to meet one of us when you come in.
And then just find it in any local liquor store around the area. And we'll keep you posted, folks. If they hit larger distribution, we'll tell you what states they're in for all of our listeners out there. I think. Absolutely. Because I'll be signing up, especially if you just start ordering it online.
Yeah.
Can I get a membership that way? Amazon, it's just it's the Instacart that just automatically
subscription or something.
Yeah, we have to figure out that one.
5%
Amazon
discount.
delivers liquor, right?
That works. Right to my office. There's a lot of alcohol delivered to this stuff.
And you guys have social media accounts too. What are your social media handles?
Absolutely. We're Lebowski's Taproom and Lebowski's Kool-Luah on both Instagram, Facebook, and it's Lebowski's Taproom on X.
Cool.
Oh, and TikTok.
TikTok as
Is
well.
that still a thing?
I don't know.
We'll see.
It depends on the day of the week.
We have some funny videos on there. So
Nice.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on the show. And folks, we gotta thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, and especially if you're in Colorado, no, anyone who's traveling to Colorado, share this episode before they get there so they don't screw up like I did and drive right past the place. I didn't know, in all fairness, I didn't know it existed, but share it with somebody else. And I gotta tell you, Tommy, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Megan, thank you for the beverages today. And y'all, just have a great week.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, guys, we still got you on. I hit stop record. Actually, let me kill the video part now.
What?
Stay on with us. I'm going to
Okay.
stop recording this. Yes. Yes, stop.